Hello everybody! Today we're going to unpack, take a close-up look and test the Aootek car breakdown emergency toolkit. So let's just take a look around the outside of the case. So contained in this nylon case is the Aootek car breakdown emergency toolkit. So now let's go ahead and unzip the case and see what's contained in it. So as you can see, with the case opened up, at the very top is a packet with a poncho. So let's set that to one side. And it also comes with some fuses. And setting down the fuses to one side as well. And it comes with a pair of cotton gloves. Do not mistake them for gape gloves. They are cotton gloves. Okay, let's put that to one side. Further up to the right. And it also comes with a roll of insulated tape. Down to one side. And there's so much more. It also comes with a emergency flashlight. Alright, let's set that to one side as well, right there. Okay, moving on. There is an emergency hammer for breaking any windows or windscreen, right there with the pointed tip. And of course it does have a protective silicone cover to it as well, just like that. And flipping it open. And of course there is a flat end for on the opposite side. And if I can get the camcorder to focus, right there. And there is a belt cutter as well, right there. If we can get focus right there. Okay, so that's the emergency hammer with the windscreen or window breaking side with the pointed tip and a just flat side on the opposite end, and a seat belt cutter tucked away on the handle side. So we can of course set that down as well, finding a spot somewhere, maybe there. Okay, moving on. It also does come with a screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, as you can see right there. And let's see if the ends are interchangeable. So they are, right there, with a flat head on one side, on the right, and the Phillips head on the left. So very simple to change. Simply plug out and insert back in. And there we go. Handy screwdriver right there. Okay, so moving on to the next item. in the nylon case is a tow rope, a coiled up nylon tow rope, and we'll have a look at some of the things in here in a little bit more detail. Let's just get the contents out. Okay, so there is a rectangular tube here, and let's find out what's in there. So as you can see, with the lid or top removed, to reveal what appears to be an emergency hazard triangle, which has been folded up for storage. We'll come back to that in a few moments. So let's just set it down right there. Okie dokes. And this appears to be the final item in the case, and it appears to be emergency jumper leads. Alright, so just making sure that there's nothing else left in the case. As you can see, all empty. We can pop it to the top somewhere around there, just fine. Okay, and lay everything out nicely on the tabletop right there. So nice to see that I've managed to fit everything in the frame. So that's the contents: the poncho, the emergency fuses, the plastic tube which contained the emergency triangle or warning triangle, the jumper leads or jumper cables, the hammer and glass breaker tip on the opposite end with the belt cutter in the handle, the dual-sided screwdriver or dual tip screwdriver with the Phillips and flathead, the emergency flashlight, the insulating tape or electrical tape, the pair of cotton gloves, and of course the tow rope. Okay, we can have a look at the flashlight and the emergency triangle or hazard warning triangle, and perhaps the tow rope and the jumper cables as well. So having a look at the emergency flashlight. So it is pretty light in weight, and it does have a hand crank over there right at the top, and a strap there, and of course the front appears to be 3 LEDs. So let's try and turn it on, see if there's any kind of charge in there. So nice to see that there happens to be a charge, so it's good enough to use, but always ensure that the light actually works before you pack it away for any kind of road trip or travel. So nice and very bright indeed, and simply turn it off by sliding that top switch down or back, and that releases the hand crank, that little slider switch right there. Seem to be having a little problem focusing today, not quite sure why. There we go. So if you need to charge it up, just do that, and you can see the light charge up right there. Okay, to show that it is working. And to store away the crank, hold it down and lock that lever in place. It's nice to see the inner workings of the emergency flashlight, the hand operated emergency flashlight or torch. Okay, and let's look at the emergency triangle. Let's see if we can assemble this. No instructions included, and voila, in about 5 seconds we've just assembled the emergency triangle. So let's twist this around as well to give it the full stability. So there we go. It does have feet on the opposite sides or front and back, and of course through the middle as well for 4-point stability right there. And let's see if we can stand it right here, make some room, and there we go. Not sure if you can see the entire triangle in the frame right there. Let me move the cables to the back temporarily and center the triangle. So it is stable enough. And very, very light in weight. And of course, quite easy to assemble. So this is the rear. The front, of course, and see if you can see the reflective panels. So very, very easy to assemble. Simply unhinge the pins from the holes, and there we have it. It is now flat again for easy storage back into its tube. But let's just quickly reassemble it. Clips in place at the top and twisting the metal stalk at the bottom, and we can stand it up just like that. Easy to assemble. A little bit wobbly, but that's just fine. Just requires a bit of bending for the surface that it will be planted on. So nice, simple hazard triangle or warning triangle right there. Alright, I guess we can actually leave it standing somewhere right there. And of course now we can take a look at the cables. So there we go, a nice close-up look at the jumper cables with copper clamps. Nice to see. And of course, just to show you the length of the jumper cables, always so important. So it might get slightly messy, so just bear with me here. We do have the black and red jumper cables. And just to give you some idea of the length of the cables, let's go ahead and show you the black ones. So I think they will be slightly easier to see. Okay, just need to loop that side through, and voila, the jumper cables, the black ones. So they are of the same length in red in the background on the tabletop. So let's just set it all up right there. So there we go. Excuse the mess, it's not always easy trying to show everything in the same frame without messing the background up. Okay, so there we go, that's the jumper cables. I'll reset the fuses and that tube right there. And what else? And lastly, let's move on to the tow cable, showing you the length and of course the hooks or fixings at the end. So this is going to get messy once again, so just bear with me. But of course this is very educational, if not informational. So we have two very solid feeling hooks, and to show you the length of the nylon tow rope or cable. There we go. Hopefully you have a good idea. Obviously space is quite limited here, but I'm doing my best to give you an idea of the length of the tow rope, and of course a close-up look at the hooks. So very solid hooks. And give you an idea of the size as well, resting them in the palm of my hands. Okay, and of course showing you the rope itself as well, or the nylon cable. There we go. Managed to get it to focus. Alrighty. So that's basically all the things you really need to see, and perhaps I could try on the gloves as well, or at least one side of the gloves, and they appear to be a perfect fit for my hand. So there we go. Right here. So that's the Aootek Car Breakdown Emergency Toolkit. Thanks for watching and happy recovering!